What's going on, Giants fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I want to give my personal thoughts so far on the Giants draft. Currently, day 3 as I'm recording this. My co-host Sam Cardona got a pick reaction to the Giants selecting wide receiver Malik Nabers at number 6 overall, but just wanted to give you my personal thoughts on the pick. Before I get into him, folks, make sure to check us out on all of our social media on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Big Blue Avenue. So, Giants draft Malik Nabers 6th overall, wide receiver, clearly a need. I thought they would go Rome Odunze. I was wrong. Malik Nabers was my number 2. I love Nabers as a player. Junior, 6 foot 200, first team AP All-American. Shares the same birthday as me. Little fun fact, July 28th. Not even 21 yet, Nabers is. So the Giants brought him in on a top 30. Very interested. He didn't take part in the measuring combine, but I do think there is a lot of upside to this guy. A lot of people classify him as the number 1 receiver in this year's NFL draft. This past season, he led the SEC in catches, second in the country in yards with nearly 1,614 scores. He had that dominant 2-touchdown game against Mississippi State where he had over 230 receiving yards. He is purely explosive, big play threat, burns by defenders. He makes the impossible catches, right? Some people like to compare him to former Giant Odell Beckham Jr., who oddly enough went to the same school. But Nabers is really good over the middle of the field. The reason why I was a little concerned about Nabers, he plays more of that slot role, but that's what the Giants are looking for. Nabers has a very similar build to former Bills receiver Stephon Diggs, who Brian Dable has worked with before. And I think what's awesome about Nabers is his versatility. He can play all 3 wide receiver spots. High volume target on all 3 levels of the field as well. You know, one concern about this guy, he needs to work on his route running a little bit. He lacks polish there, but he led the country in yards per game this year, 120 receiving yards per game, which is very, very impressive. Second best receiver in the country against man, number 1 against zone. Left LSU as the all-time leader in receptions and receiving yards, so that is very exciting. I want to see him work on his hips a little bit when running routes. I think that'll help him get leverage against taller corners. But, you know, I want to see, can Nabers prove that he makes those 50-50 catches? I think this will clearly benefit Daniel Jones. I mean, it's exciting to see the Giants finally get a number 1 wide receiver again. We thought that guy would be Kenny Golladay 3 years ago. That slapped us right across the face, folks. So I think the fact that the Giants went out and got a bona fide number 1 at 6 is awesome. I mean, the NFL's changed. It's a passing league, right? I mean, we saw Joe Alt go number 5. So I think out of who was left on the board, Nabers, Odunze, J.J. McCarthy, the Giants made the right pick. Now it'll be interesting to see what Daniel Jones can do with a pure number 1 wide receiver. He's got a lot of talent. Make sure to go check out his highlights if you haven't caught him yet. He's an awesome player. I'm very excited to say that Malik Nabers is a New York football Giant. Appreciate you all watching this video. Let me know your comments below on Malik Nabers. Do you like the pick? What do you think? Would you have gone differently here? I want to hear your thoughts. Folks, without further ado, let's go Big Blue.